Welcome to the Pagan Playground book review in my new dwelling. So you'll be hearing lots of interesting noises. Yay. So, I have just picked this up and I'm like, well, the way that I do the bump run, so, because nobody knows how to use a blinker and, you don't want to cross the road onto traffic because they will never stop for you. So I kind of go to the wheel, come around, get gas, and then do what I gotta do. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll stop at the wheel. I don't plan on getting anything because they overcharge for everything now. And for Hoo Ha's, I stopped and was rummaging the books, and I usually try to look for, like, pagan-y type of stuff. So I'm looking and looking, and it's like near the last little bit, and I come across Practical Candle Burning Rituals, Spells and Rituals for Every Purpose by Raymond Buckland. So I'm like, Raymond Buckland? There's two authors that I kind of trust the most. It's Scott Cunningham and Raymond Buckland. And I'm like, well, this should be interesting. And interesting's a good word for it. And I paid a whopping $1 for this. Let's see. And it wasn't even Buckland. Who did the intro? Carl L. Westcheck. Sounds like a name I'm familiar with. Did the intro, and he basically mentions you don't need, the whole Harry Potter type stuff to do pretty much anything, Like, I have, being in an apartment, they're like, and especially having, the whole reason they redid everything is because apparently there was a fire here, so they're, like, paranoid with blame. Which is why I got rid of all my taper candles and had to invest in electric. But, which reminds me, I gotta do that. But to do anything, I have my birthday candles. So, you don't need the big fancy stuff. And he's like, well, if you want to, like, anoint your candles, you can do the fancy stuff, or you can just do olive oil, just do what you would, normally do to bless them or whatever. You don't need the fancy stuff, but if that's what works best for you, go ahead. But that's not the important part, if that makes sense. And it basically stretches, you don't also need to use magic and stuff like that for, like, wanting to find a unicorn type of thing. It's like, just, help you to, stuff that you would normally deal with, like, finance spell, or, maybe you might need a spell for, like, finding the right dress for your wedding type of stuff. The everyday life stuff you can, that's the stuff you can focus on, utilizing whatever the heck you might have around your house. So that was a very interesting point in, that they actually kind of stress. And the wild thing about this, I'm looking through the table of contents as I'm kind of starting to read it. There's a Christian version and an old religion version of everything in here. So it's the same thing. So it's either, like the Christians call it prayer, the pagans call it spell. So it's just the same thing, done slightly different, but using, like, biblical passages, or, like, pagan passages, or however we want to say it. And it's really kind of interesting, just, even if you don't believe any of this, like you're an atheist, it's just very interesting to see the parallels of how the single thing can be done in both directions that assumably are so diametrically opposed, yet they're so equal to each other.
Yes, Catherine Michael. When you want, Catherine Michael? I thought you were napping. As if I don't distract easily enough.
So it's very interesting, like, To Cause Dreams 1, and this is the Christian version, and then they have, like, an altar set up for, the Christian thing, and it uses Psalm 11. And then you have To Cause Dreams version 2, which is the pagan version. This one, I think, uses the same exact altar setup. So it's just really interesting to see them put side by side. And my next note is prayer is a kind of magic. I mean, you're doing the exact same thing, just calling it two different things. Let's see. I made a note as it was giving me correspondence for like colors, and apparently being a Gemini, my primary color is red. Black is my favorite color, but red is a close second. We all know that if you watch my other channel. So it's like, and I look good in it. So, and the correspondence charts are simple. I mean, there's nothing complicated here. There's not a giant encyclopedia of thing. Your zodiac sign, your birthday, you have a primary and secondary color. Apparently my secondary color is blue, which I wear a lot in my hair, so symbolism of what the colors mean. Red is strength, health, vigor, and sexual love. For the heck of it. He has dark blue, impulsiveness, depression, changeability. That sounds about right for Gemini. And then the days of the week are corresponding to colors. And since it's focused on candles and the colors are important, that's why they kind of have that in the front. And the thing about this book too, it isn't a book that's sort of on like happy, fun time, fluffy cloud type workings. It works with like voodoo-y type stuff and not like, breaking a couple up and, like negative, hexy type of stuff too. So it's playing both sides of the street, which is also interesting because it's so, a lot of, they're both Christian and pagan focused, so it isn't so the any harm none. And he does specify that, you can practice magic without being a witch type of thing. So he does, go both directions and, gives you a wide range of things to do, though I would highly suggest not doing the negative things. The flow of the book is really, really, simple. The font is just right, these are your diagrams, how to set up the altar. Very simple. Each thing is a page, on both sides. So there's nothing long and complicated. It's easy enough to adjust to yourself. It's very fluid. That's one thing I like about Buckland too. He's a very lyrical kind of writer too. Okay. And there's a very interesting selection as well. You got dreams, to uncross a person. I guess that means to like anti-hex them. To attain success, to purify oneself, to soothe and quiet the nerves. I definitely could use that. To obtain money, to change one's luck. And John would be like, well, you're looking at it negatively. It's like, well, yeah, but to change one's luck, you have to be careful. You want to get the right kind of luck. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have luck at all. And if you're just starting out on like the path, or you're just learning about this type of stuff, this is a good beginner book too. Very, very novice friendly. And it's very interesting for those who, have been on the path for a while, or who are sort of interesting in like, religions and practices and anything like that. It's a very, I think a lot of different types of people will be interested in this book. Yep, I don't know what else to tell you. That's a wide range of. You can find this probably in the magic section, the candle burning section, and the self-help section. Good luck trying to find this at a bookstore. Okay, simple rituals that get real results. Thank you. With the publication of Practical Candle Burning Rituals, Dr. Buckland, for the first time, brought candle magic up from a 19th century muddle to a clear, concise, modern pagan book on how to do it. Ever since its initial publication, Practical Candle Burning Rituals has been the first book that one consults in the standard against which all others must be judged. This book was the first of its kind, and in mind is still the very best. And this is from Ed Fitch, author of Magical Rites from the Crystal Well, Rites of Odin, and a Grimoire of Shadows. And couple other things that tell you that this book is awesome. Another name is familiar to me. apparently there's like a bunch of different, I was gonna say the Magical Household. I'm like, oh, of course. Scott Cunningham. I don't think I have that one, though. So there's suggestions in the back of, like, different books. Advanced Candle Magic. More Spells and Rituals by Raymond Buckland. Secrets of Gypsy Fortune Telling. Unveils the Romani secrets of fortune telling, explaining in detail many different methods used by the nomads. That sounds like it'd be interesting. Witchcraft from the Inside. Origins of the fastest growing religious movement in America. And then it goes into like Scott Cunningham books. How to Heal with Color by Ted Andrews. And of course this is a Llewellyn publication, right? Yep. This is the 3rd edition, 26th printing from 1999. And apparently it was copyright 7076. So this has been out there a while. And still fairly relevant. So apparently there is a more advanced copy of this. But I enjoyed it. Nice to have a nice Buckland book in my library. So, thank you for watching. I hope the lighting's at least enough to... I'm still working on a new setup. So, this should be fun. Yay. Oh, and I didn't even know what happened to... I have to dig out my list of the ABCs for this year. I uploaded what I had, and apparently it's already up, so God knows what letter we're on now, so I'll probably get a batch of like 15 different letters. So, thank you for watching, and blessed be.